Hi friends, TK here. In this video, I'm going to share the most common question I receive as a consultant in the mental health space. My advice is to put your headphones in and let the words wash over you as you go about your day. I promise the mind will slowly begin retaining everything it needs to hear with daily practice. Now, the most common question I receive from clients and new viewers alike centers around negativity. Sometimes we call it contrast or the unwanted. The questions usually sound something like this: how do I live in this negative world without becoming negative myself? I don't want to hide under a rock, but I find it so difficult to interact with the world and be a normal person without encountering painful reminders that life is hard or unfair. Or I see situations where people are being victimized and I just can't look away. I feel so much empathy towards them. What should I do? If this is your first time meeting me, I'm a writer and a speaker, not necessarily a life coach, but mental health has become my favorite topic over the past few years, really as a result of completely changing the trajectory of my own life by learning the tenets of esoteric spirituality. So now I write about my findings and teach others my perspective on absolutely bulletproof mental health. On this channel, you can expect a bit of journaling, a bit of philosophy, a whole lot of dedication to the art of raising your emotional state. I call it writing your own story, creating your reality. If you want to learn what I've learned, you should definitely stick around and take this journey with me. So how do we reconcile this powerful potential to experience pain in this physical life with an equally powerful desire to stay informed, stay engaged with the world, and remain a social presence? How does happiness manage to squeeze itself in there at all? It's a tightrope, right? Information is always a double-edged sword. The more you learn, the more you know, but that doesn't necessarily mean the more you understand. Wisdom requires a deep understanding of all facets of creating reality. Until you take the journey, you're liable to cut yourself with that double-edged sword. First, what is negative emotion? Well, it's lots of things, but at its core, it's a choice. It's a choice to remain vibrationally stagnant rather than expanding into the desires you've created. And as many of you know, desire always requires alignment with the vibration of the wish fulfilled in order to manifest. To resonate with something means to match its frequency. So, if you want to match the frequency of something pleasant, you're going to have to sacrifice some of your negative emotion and focus upon the belief that the pleasant desire is possible. We can say the same thing in a slightly different way. When you choose negative emotion, you're choosing to see yourself or your world in a way that the source energy within you would never see yourself or your world, your circumstance. In terms of our emotions, life really is that painfully simple. Either learn to see the world through the eyes of source or choose to see it through the eyes of something else. And the eyes of something else always leads to suffering. Always. That being said, here's the real truth of life that few ever consider. Your mind won't let you let go of compulsive rumination or overthinking without first deciding that the payoff of a positive attitude is better than the payoff we attach to judgment, criticism, complaints, or gossiping with others. Not only is there an energetic payoff in negativity, but there's also some sort of personal sense of safety achieved in those cases. The rush of hatred or frustration or defensiveness feels a lot like power because it is so intense, especially if you've been living in a perpetual malaise. Plus, it creates a separation between our image of ourselves and the outer world, thereby making that outer world easier to judge and ourselves less culpable when negative circumstance manifests. But whatever negativity promises, my friends, be it energetically or in the form of mental protection, is a false promise. Negative energy is puny and paltry in comparison to the true power of non-resisted positive thought. Whenever you see any sort of media or stimulus that makes energy move for you in a palpable way, you've got to stop and ask yourself, is this energy bringing me closer to the perspective of Source's perfect, loving, all-knowing perspective, or moving me away from it? And if it's the latter, remind yourself that the rush of energy in motion, emotion, is not the same as accomplishment. And massive accomplishments only manifest when energy is truly aligned and moving. And when you have these little types of conversations with yourself enough, you come to understand something very fundamental, ancient, and deeply profound about yourself. Power, energy, accomplishment, they all derive from calmness, not calamity. To outwardly judge is to inwardly judge, and to inwardly judge is to inwardly cripple. Every step you take to hinder someone else is only tightening the noose around your own neck. Not only is it painful and counterproductive, but it's just outright dumb. So, can you interact with an unconscious world and maintain your consciousness? Absolutely, if you do it consciously. And to do so means finding stability, choosing peace rather than chaos, even when some negativity seems enticing. This is how you become strong like the stone rather than blow away like the dust in the wind. With practice, you can find the beauty in everything. When you see it for what it is, a piece of creation, no different than yourself, here for the journey of self-discovery, then you're golden. Living in a negative world then becomes highly pleasurable because you realize that all pieces of the whole are simply moving towards their own slice of enlightenment. If this type of teaching resonates with you, please let me know in the comments. I speak very matter-of-factly, I don't sugarcoat things, and the people I work with have been experiencing massive shifts in both their emotion and their manifestations as a result. I hope to see you around for more videos.